Hey, 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 welcome to Godfather Minute. My name is Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers. Today we are discussing Minute 95.
You think young Don Corleone talk like this, Alex?
Yeah, be like one of those kids where you're not sure whether he's like a kid or whether he was like a little person that was just kind of like,
Yeah. But do you think when he was young, he had the same kind of like gruffy voice when it was just higher pitched like this?
I'm disappointed we never got to see a kid doing a Marlon Brando, like the kid who played Veto Antolini.
Oh, yeah.
Having him talk.
Do
like,
more, yeah.
Well, what, did you go to fourth grade to get stupid?
It's all the same scenes and relationships, but in third grade.
We'll have to do a all kid version of like the Godfather babies.
I like it.
Where it's all kids.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that on
I think
another
we did.
show?
I think we started to. I
remember talking about the giant having all the furniture be big.
Yeah, and they had puppets. We were going to do them as hand puppets.
Oh, right.
That's what we should do for some special
live
Godfather. Live puppet show. We can live stream it on Facebook. A live puppet show.
If I told you once, I've told you 100 times. Yeah, we should totally do that.
Yeah. Which hand puppet would you want to be? And what scene would you want to do?
Are we doing GF? Or
GF1.
GF1.
Basically recreating the scenes and ad-libbing a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be the funniest thing.
I think I like to do the Luca Brasi getting killed scene. With puppets.
With the puppets?
Yeah, with puppets.
That'd be hard to do. Oh, the murderer, the marionette would use the marionette string itself to choke him.
That's funny.
That's great. I think I would do the scene where Don Corleone, the very opening, where Don Corleone's in his office and puppet after puppet keeps coming in to ask him favors. Because then you could have a variety of puppets.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're talking about adding stuff into it.
Well, in the book, I think there are more. Yeah. There are more scenes where people are coming in and asking him favors.
For your Muppet. So minute 95.
Alex, minuto. Numero. Take a guess.
95.
Close. 95. 90 with a V. Don't forget. Like, think of Nova. Like renovation. New. Renovating. New. 95.
Ai 95.
90.
So in minute 95, the Don is still bedridden, but Tom Hagen brings him up to speed on everything that's been going on. The war. He talks about the McCluskey killing. Talks of the reveal that Fredo is going to California to learn the casino business.
There's an important question he does not answer in this minute, Alex.
The minute ends with the Don asking, "Where's Mikey?" Is that the question you meant?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where's Mikey?
Hagen is very uncomfortable this entire minute.
Yeah.
I think he realizes his legacy as a consigliere is on the line. Like how the Don responds to this is going to be how Hagen will be remembered.
Well, it's funny because you definitely, when he talks about, I definitely get the feeling Tom is trying to, not softball it, but downplay it. Maybe we're trying to say, like, because he's saying like, things are starting to loosen up. Meaning like, okay, I know it seems like things are bad, but
yeah,
we got this under control. Things are starting to loosen up, even though it's clearly, Mikey's gone, and he knows the Don's going to be mad about that.
He's presenting it in the most positive light possible.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Pop, you're looking great. You look fantastic.
So it's interesting that he refers to it as the McCluskey killing, as opposed to killing the Turk.
Yeah.
I guess the McCluskey part is the part that is more, because it's a police captain and no one has ever gunned down a police captain. That's the more like noteworthy thing. some mobster dies, they dime a dozen.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, they die a dozen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the police captain thing. Because Hagen's original advice was not to do it because even the old man's political protection would run for cover.
that's true.
So that's
I mean, if you think about it, like Pophead look what he has.
yeah. Pophead, you're stuck with Hagen. That's the opening line in the Causeway Countdown. What I liked about what I was trying to do in the Causeway Countdown too was to mix up the dialogue of who was doing the talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's really this I guess it's a third person talking to Sonny, saying like, Pophead, you're stuck with Hagen. It's this.
I thought it was like Sonny's like conscience in his head saying it,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, or is it ego?
Yeah. He's when he's laying in bed at night, he can't sleep.
Yeah,
that's what he's thinking in his head. So speaking of which, how long is it until Sonny gets shot?
Pophead, you're stuck with Hagen. The lobster might not even be in the car, Sonny. But he's right to steal his heart. Lots of money he'll be making.
A lot of money in that white car.
Lucy, I'm home. Made a big mistake. Should have kept your mouth shut.
Sonny was hot for my deal. You can't talk business with him.
And Carlo made a mess. Now you gotta clean it up. Now clean it up! Pop's in a coma. Fredo's losing his mind. Where the hell is Luca? You are out of time. Tick tock, we're counting down every day. What can I do? To get to Carlo, gotta make it through the causeway.
Sonny on the causeway.
Listen to me, you better listen to Clemenza's wife.
Don't forget the cannoli.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay the final toll with your life.
Well, it happens in minute 119, and this is minute one. What is this? Minute 95?
95.
95.
95.
So that is 24 minutes.
24 minutes.
Probably,
So listen to 1 minute every hour. You'll get there in one day.
So we talked last minute about, in the bonus content, about starting to think about ideas for the next countdown. And I think, Alex, you and I agreed that this time we want to do a deep cut. And not have one that's tied to an iconic moment or dialogue.
So you're saying next time we let people pick, they're going to be all obscure scenes.
Yes, and no write-ins.
No
they have to
write-ins.
pick.
Yeah.
Should we start to think of some of those?
Yeah. Well, let's look at what's coming up in the 20 minutes after that's after Sonny gets shot in the causeway.
Yeah. Maybe we should have when Apollonia blows up. What do you think? No, you don't want that one?
No.
No, that can't be the countdown. No,
She might not even be in the car, Andy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's a good foreshadowing of the fact that Apollonia gets accidentally killed, because remember they're like, oh, we should just kill him while he's in the car. He's like, he might not even be in the car, Sonny. And they're trying to kill Michael, and Michael's not even in the car.
He's not even in the car.
We should have listened to Tom.
Yeah, Fabrizio thought of the same thing. So Fabrizio was like Sonny. He's like, oh, just kill him in the car.
And the other guy was like Tom Hagen, the other bodyguard.
Yeah, she will make a good American wife. This one.
So I think
even her father will run for cover.
Father. So we saw this Tom seeming kind of sheepish, and I think also because he's not doing necessarily a good job with. He did the exact opposite thing he should do, which is have Mikey get mixed up in the rackets, and then we have Sonny, and Sonny also seems kind of like embarrassed that they're all doing exactly what the stereotype is that they should have done, and they're all embarrassed about it.
Yeah,
because Sonny's all like, well, they hit us, so we hit them back. Yeah. Like it seemed like a good idea at the time,
Yeah.
So
it's interesting how Tom is the one updating the Don.
Yeah,
you would think that Sonny, being the interim head of the family would be the one. Oh, okay, Pop, this is what I decided. This is how I've been managing the family and the business since you've been gone. So I'm now transitioning it back to you. Here's the update. Do you find it interesting that Tom's the one?
It is interesting because although maybe it's sort of like with like he was it's almost like if the president steps down and then the vice president takes over.
Yeah.
And then so the whole cabinet then has to report to the vice president.
Yeah.
But then once the president comes back.
So it's like the chief of staff who fills him in on what's taking place?
And Sonny's there, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess in terms of the day-to-day operations, Tom is probably more of the...
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, and now that the Don is back to being the head of the family, it's the consigliere's role to always update him about happenings in the business.
Yeah, so Tom was like the chief of what'd you call it? The
chief of staff.
Chief of staff.
That's the White House.
Yeah,
the
White
guy
House
who
chief of
oversees
staff.
the cabinet.
Yeah, right.
It'd be interesting, and going back to the White House, the analogy, if Dick Cheney were vice president, and say George W. Bush the third. It was the third? George W. during the who was was it George Bush? Was it George W. Bush the third?
No, I don't
think
think
so. George W. Bush. When he was president.
His father was H.W. Bush.
Oh,
so
that's right. So George W. Bush. Let's imagine he was out and he came too, and Cheney was the one who had been running the nation.
Right.
So whoever, that wasn't Rumsfeld, but whoever George W. Bush's chief of staff is delivering the news to George W. Bush saying, hey, this is what we've done.
Yeah.
And then Cheney chimes in, they hit us first, so we hit them back. And he's all proud of it because he's such a
It's a slightly different dynamic with if you bring in Dick Cheney.
They didn't hit us, but we hit them back anyway.
We thought they were going to hit us, so we hit them hard.
That was a very long setup for to have Cheney, just to compare
McCluskey.
Sonny to Cheney. Yeah, yeah. McCluskey's there. It's true. They hit us back. Well, I have some stuff from the book about how things have been going during the war while the Don's been out.
It's been 3 months, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't remember where we got that number from, but.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's been a few months.
Well, we know it's springtime now, at least.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's well, before I forget, that's what's so funny about the fact that Sonny's all like, when Fredo's taking over the casino business, and he's like, we want him to rest.
Yeah.
Like, it's been like, what is he resting for? It's been like, is he still that traumatized by the
I think that's code for we need to get him out of the way. we need to get him to mess up Mo Green's operations to set the stage for us to take over. Yeah.
He's like, kid, listen, when you get there, bang the cocktail waitress. I don't care how many you have to do. Just get them all.
Oh, I just realized that's probably part of their plan. They get Fredo to cause disarray in the casino operation so that Mo Green starts losing money, so that when Michael comes in, he says, hey, you've been losing money.
Are you saying he's skimming?
No, I'm saying he's unlucky with the help of Fredo Corleone.
Mr. Unlucky himself.
I want respect, not just a job as a cooler.
Fredo, go ruin that casino. Fredo, go drive that business. Just drive that business into the ground. Anyway, so go back to your reading from the book.
So Puzo writes about what's been going on in the world of New York City's crime families during the war. Puzo writes, page 246. After the death of Captain McCluskey, some newspapers printed stories involving him with Sollozzo. They published proof that McCluskey had received large sums of money in cash shortly before his death. These stories had been planted by Hagen, the information supplied by him. The police department refused to confirm or deny these stories, but they were taking effect. The police force got the word through informers, through police on the family payroll, that McCluskey had been a rogue cop. Not that he had taken money or clean graft, there was no rank and file onus to that, but that he had taken the dirtiest of dirty money. Murder and drugs money. And in the morality of policemen, this was unforgivable.
So it's okay to take regular bribes,
Yeah.
not from drug dealing Turks.
Yeah. And Puzo writes a little bit more about that. I was really interested in this, and I wanted to share it with our listeners. Puzo writes, so this is more about the policeman in New York City at the time. Puzo writes, but usually he draws the line, this is police, but usually he draws the line against accepting dirty graft. He will take money to let a bookmaker operate. He will take money from a man who hates getting parking tickets or speeding tickets. He will allow call girls and prostitutes to ply their trade for a consideration. These were vices natural to a man.
Most people regard as harmless.
Yeah, so the police are on the same page as Don Corleone. But usually he will not take a payoff for drugs, armed robberies, rape, murder, and other assorted perversions. In his mind, these attack the very core of his personal authority and cannot be countenanced. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
A little bit more. The murder of a police captain was comparable to regicide. What's regicide?
Murder of a royalty,
wow. Interesting. But when regicide. We have to name this episode, don't forget.
Regicide.
I mean, it might be regicide.
Life on the streets.
But when it became known that McCluskey had been killed while in the company of a notorious narcotics peddler. Narcotics peddler.
You picture him like a cart. Narcotics here.
Cocaine. We got cocaine, heroin.
Weed.
Finance. We got protection. When it became known that he was suspected of conspiracy to murder, the police desire for vengeance began to fade. Also, after all, there were still mortgage payments to be made, cars to be paid off, children to be launched into the world. Without their sheet money, policemen had to scramble to make ends meet. Unlicensed peddlers were good for lunch money. Parking ticket payoffs came to nickels and dimes. Some of the more desperate even began shaking down suspects, homosexuals, assaults, and batteries in the precinct squad rooms. Finally, the brass relented. They raised the prices and let the families operate. Once again, the payoff sheet was typed up by the precinct bagman, listing every man assigned to the local station and what his cut was each month. Some semblance of social order was restored.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that they keep paper records of who gets what bribes?
I think so.
That seems stupid.
It's highly organized.
What, are they go to accounting school to get stupid?
Yeah, it does seem very risky. Although I guess if ranks as high as police captain are involved in it, I guess it's okay throughout the entire organization.
Yeah, I guess so.
How else would you... Is it kind of like a supplemental payroll? Is it like, hey, sergeants make this much?
Yeah, I imagine there's probably the higher you are.
This much.
The higher you are, you probably get a cut, get a little taste.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But McCluskey was clearly making his own deals. He made $10,000 to take the cops off of the guard of the Godfather at the hospital. So I guess there's an official... dirty payroll, and then cops can do what they want.
Yeah, it's like freelance work.
Yeah, freelance work. That's right. So interesting. So Tom Higgins accurate when he say things are starting to loosen up.
Yeah.
Was it the right move?
Well, you mean starting the war?
Yeah.
Well, what if they had Sonny kill? I guess then they would have killed Sonny. Like, why did they have Sonny kill?
They would not. They would
have fallen for it.
Yeah, and Sollozzo, remember, was he insisted that it was Michael because he knew he was a civilian.
Yeah.
Little did he know.
It does seem like since they knew where the meeting was happening, that they could have had someone other than Michael do it. Like, you could have had Michael in there and then have armed robbers come in and just shoot the place up and just not shoot Michael, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get him out in the confusion. Everyone would assume that Mikey was dead or whatever. But anyway.
Send in Clemenza's wife.
Some poison cannolis.
Don't forget the guarantee that no more attempts are on Don Corleone's life.
Yeah. It's a Turk. I didn't realize my imitation of Mrs. Clemenza is just like a female Hagen.
I was just thinking that.
Don't forget the cannoli. It's political protection. I'll run for cover.
The cannoli might not even be in the car, Peter.
Yeah.
So Fredo's going to learn the casino business.
Yeah, there's a little bit more in the book about Fredo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not much, but it's interesting. So, like I said last minute, Fredo's not even in the room. He's already in Vegas. That's a big difference in the book, between the book and the movie. Puzo writes,
he's resting when they want him to rest.
I wonder what that looks like, him resting in Vegas. Is it just him partying? Or is he sitting by a pool with a life coach?
Well, is it so? What is the order of operations? Does he say, "Oh, Does he say, "I'm going to learn a casino business," and then we just want to relax, or does he say, "We just want to relax"? He says, "I'm going to learn the casino business."
Yeah, I think it's that.
So he says, "Relax first."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they say, "Going to learn the casino business."
So did they tell Fredo, like? I almost get the impression that Sonny is saying it to the Don because Fredo doesn't even realize that he's being sent there to relax. They told him, "Oh yeah, you're going to learn the casino business." Yeah. "I'm going to learn the casino business." And they go, "Sure you are, Fredo.
Yeah,
sure
exactly,
you are."
Yeah, that's Fredo's attempt to get some respect.
Yeah,
like, Fredo knows deep down he's just getting pushed aside.
He's like, "Wait a minute, why am I going to Vegas?" And he's like, "I don't know. You'll learn the casino business."
Yeah.
Oh, great. Finally, something in it for me.
Yeah. They originally sent him to the Disney themed casino.
Yeah.
Some Mickey Mouse casino there.
The Disney casino. Just wear these ears.
So Fredo Corleone is going to learn the casino business. Puzo writes, Fredo Corleone had been sent to Las Vegas to recuperate and also to scout out the ground for a family operation in the luxury hotel gambling casino complex that was springing up. Las Vegas was part of the West Coast Empire, still neutral, and the Don of that empire had guaranteed Fredo's safety there. The New York Five families had no desire to make more enemies by going into Vegas after Fredo Corleone. They had enough trouble on their hands in New York.
Well, that's something interesting because they mention in the movie that he's going under the protection of Don Francesco.
Yeah.
From L.A.
Yeah.
And
but later, when Michael is in Vegas, doesn't he reference a different Don?
He says the
Molinari family.
Under the protection of the Molinari family on the coast.
Yeah.
And so I looked up to see who this Don Francesco was, and I could find none of the Godfather wiki stuff. Weirdly, Don Ciccio, the one who from GF2, his name is Don Francesco, but I can't imagine that this is the same Don Francesco.
No.
So it's so I don't know if he was just totally made up for the movie.
Or maybe that's what they just told Fredo, so he'd feel confident.
But you think that you think Don Corleone would have been, Don Francesco, who's that?
Yeah.
I thought I killed that guy. So, yeah.
That'd be great. They send Fredo out to the West Coast. They go, "Yeah, meet Francesco, Don Francesco. He'll pick you up at LAX. They're like, "Okay." It takes him months to figure out it's good to make his way back to Vegas. And
ironically, he does not get picked up at the airport. That's
that's why he's so sensitive about picking people up at the airport.
I'm on time. I get there 10 minutes early every time. I monitor the flights.
Send Fredo to check departure times. Send Fredo to get TSA pre-check for others.
I bet Tom would have had TSA pre-check if he was around.
Yeah, he does plenty of flying.
That's true.
Yeah. And usually last minute, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I going to California tonight?
Don't worry, we got your TSA pre-check. You go right through. Go ahead and bring your mistress and your liquids.
Why you gotta be so? What does he say? Why do you
gotta insult me like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, I've always been loyal to you or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we gotta wait for it, Ox.
Save it.
Yeah. So a little bit more. Puzo writes, Dr. Kennedy. So this is the
vagina repair doctor.
No. This is not in Vegas. This is in Long Beach.
Dr. Kennedy.
Dr. Kennedy is a doctor who is tending to Don Corleone while he's recuperating at his home.
And weirdly, Dr. Lincoln is the one who was taking care of him in the hospital. So it's a weird, weird coincidence. Yeah.
That's right. And Don Corleone had been shot by forensically. It was impossible for one of those bullets to hit him. That's what Dr. Kennedy said.
And then when Sonny gets shot in the causeway, he fell back into the left.
Oh.
Back into the left.
There was a book depository right next to that causeway.
There was the only book they had, The Godfather by Mario Puzo.
It's the only one they could check out. Dr. Kennedy, Puzo writes, Dr. Kennedy had forbade any discussion of business in front of the Don. This edict was completely disregarded. So this is in that scene. The Don insisted on a council of war being held in his room.
Council of War. That's awesome.
Isn't that great? Sonny, Tom Hagen, Pete Clemenza, and Tessio gathered there the very first night of his homecoming. Don Corleone was too weak to speak much, but he wished to listen and exercise veto powers.
Veto Corleone.
Oh, that's why his mama named him Veto Corleone. That'd be an interesting way to rule. You couldn't speak, and you couldn't create legislation.
You could only veto.
You can only veto until they came up with what you wanted.
You couldn't even say what it was you wanted to change. You just have to, sorry, veto.
Veto. Oh, veto.
We've been working on this for hours.
You could do kind of like charades, hand signals to get them, like, sounds like.
Or maybe you have to do like things, you have to do it line by line. Like, so we were going to go to town.
Veto.
Oh, okay, we're going to go to the plane. Okay, that's good. The plane is good.
Veto. He says it.
So he exercised the veto.
When it was explained that Freddie had been sent to Las Vegas to learn the gambling casino business, he nodded his head approvingly.
Oh.
Okay, so that's how people know to keep going. When he learned that Bruno...
Fredo's good for the casino business.
When he learned that Bruno Tattaglia had been killed by Corleone button men, he shook his head and sighed.
And still not a veto.
No. And I won't continue.
Wait, so Bruno Tattaglia is the son, the magic guy.
Yes, he
with
was
the magic
killed.
tricks.
Remember
Okay,
they hit. Remember Fish said we hit Bruno Tattaglia at 5 a.m.
Right, yeah.
Bonnie took him out.
They hit us, so we hit them back.
It messed up all our plans.
It was perfect.
And I can't read it. I can't continue because it has to do with the next minute.
Oh, right. Continue on next. We might as well.
TBD.
TBD. What do you want to rate this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Don does not technically speak, although he exercises his veto powers.
He does nod and shake his head.
Sonny talks a little bit. It's very awkward. They're all very uncomfortable.
But
Fredo talks.
Fredo does talk, and he talks about the casino business.
That's the first connection to Mo Green and Hyman Roth and Vegas. If we could give half stars, I'd be more decided. But okay, I got mine.
Already?
Yeah.
Uno, dos, tres. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have a little bit of business talk.
Yeah.
You got references to McCluskey. You got Fredo.
Yeah.
Things are heating up.
Yeah, things are heating. Things are picking up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to go back and correct us. It's uno, due, tres.
Well,
Yeah, I don't want to say it in Spanish.
uno, duo, tres.
That's right.
Say, you know what? I was in the store the other day, and I looked in the game section, as I sometimes do. And as you know, I'm a big fan of the game Uno.
Yeah.
And
I played it once.
And not only they came out with another game called Duo,
Really?
which is a follow up to Uno.
Wow.
So
it took them long enough.
I know. It was like they took them this long to come up with.
What's the concept?
I think I just looked on the back quickly, and there's all sorts of customizable rules. But I think one of the things is if you, let's say the number is red 7, and you have like 2 number 7s in your hand, you can play 2 cards.
Wow. Duo. As it
Yeah.
changes
Duo.
things. I thought it was just you play 2 games of Uno. And then you call it a night.
Yeah, call it.
Yeah, and the negotiator's letting him win. He's happy.
Playing Uno.
Playing
Uno all night.
all night.
Draw 2. Reverse.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to talk about in the bonus content this week?
Well, before we started recording today, you said you wanted to give me a gift of a personal drawing of yours themed Godfather themed for our little basement studio here. For our listeners, we were recording in my basement.
Well, first I just
studio.
said I wanted to get you a movie poster
Yeah, I
of The
know.
Godfather. And you're like, oh, you're going to draw me a poster of all
have-
3 movies?
and
That's awesome. No, I guess so.
Come on.
No, so they,
Aren't you? You're my friend, right?
yeah, no, but when I think about it, though, it does. So the question is,
Alex, I need you to use all your powers to draw artistic representations of the Godfather movies, frame them, and put them up in our studio to inspire us.
all right, so we will talk about this more during the bonus
Yes,
content,
yes.
like what should be featured and so on. So
What's
okay,
fair for you to do for me, and then
Yeah.
how I can repay the favor.
yeah, yeah, totally. One day, it might not be now you have to repay the favor, but sometime during the future, you're gonna have to.
Look at what they did to my studio.
What kind of favor do you think you're involved in? You're like an education administrator. I guess you could do favors for the Don, right? I'm sure you could go in there and change grades and
I mean, his.
make sure kids got in better classes. And
Yeah, I could
you think
try? I don't know. It's a lot harder now. There's a
you
lot
don't
more
want to use all your
accountability.
powers.
I guess it depends what the Don did for me.
So you would really, if let's.
Oh, you're saying I would do that first?
No. Let's just say you were like Bonacera, and he's like,
There might come a time in the future where I need you to do a
okay.
favor
for me. You're saying you would then be like, you know what, Don? I
so I've
I
already-
fixed your kid's grade. That's not really worth. That's
So I've already.
you've already gotten the favor.
I've already get. So I was literally Bonacera, except I'm a school administrator.
Yeah, let's just say
so
let's just
he-
say you avenged. I was beaten up because I was on a date with some Italian guy. I got beat up, and then you had I was avenged.
Don't take this the wrong way, but if you had been the one beaten up, I'm not sure I would have cashed in my favor for that.
Damn!
You know why?
Wow.
Because I would have taken care of it myself. I'm not gonna have some third party do it.
So you're saying
Come on, my
Bonacera should
brother?
have done it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's a simple.
So you don't believe
he's a
in
simple corpse
America?
peddler.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Changing that'd be great if he comes.
See, I need you to change my boy Santino's grades. He it seems like he went to high school to get stupid. give him straight B's so it doesn't raise any red flags. You think he could do that? If you convince some of your administrative friends to do some of him something,
Sure, I'd do anything for my Godfather.
We used to go in and change the grades with computers provided by your father.
oh, B minuses for everyone. We made a killing.
Not even the honor society or the valedictorian. That's the business we're in.
Michael, we're bigger than the National Key Club.
National Key Club.
That's a real deep cut high school
it is.
reference.
I thought that was like a swingers association.
What, the Key Club?
Yeah, the Key Club.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I was like, I can't believe there's a Key Club. That's crazy.
It's like a public service club for kids.
Yeah.
So
All right, then,
we
so-
rated it. We didn't name it. Name the episode.
We do that off the air.
Okay. Regicide. Maybe
I
something
wrote down
regicide.
regicide.
Okay.
So yeah.
So stick around.
Yeah.
We still don't have a sign off.
Oh no, I thought we came up with one last
Oh
week.
yeah, za, 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 za.
za, 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 za. Hey,
Joey, za, za.